Are you kidding me? Enough already, Mr. Meteorologist, Mrs. Meteorologist. We've had enough of this winter. We're tired of it. We're sick of it. Let us have some sunshine. Golf courses in the area open officially tomorrow. Are you kidding me? Snow on the ground? Good morning. It's the 31st of March, 2014. Another edition of Weber This Week. Longtime friend Mike O'Brien. Obie is in the house. He's on the couch. He's a famous barber. He thinks he knows a lot about a lot of topics. We're going to explore those options in a few minutes. But without further ado, let's go live now to the bus that's en route to Albany, New York. And why is that important for me? Because it's Damon Nicholson's on the line, head coach of the Romulus Lady Warriors, who are going to be feted and being saluted today by Mike Nozzolio and Palmazzano down in Albany. Damon, good morning to you. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. How are you guys?
I'm doing great, Damon, and I know you're en route with a bunch of players on the bus, along with your wife, etc. How's the ride, by the way? Good?
Oh, great so far. They just put in the movie Hoosiers, so we're going to watch that now.
Well, Damon, certainly we're going to talk more about the banquet coming up Sunday night, but you've had a colossal, amazing year. What are your thoughts now that the season is just completed? Your state title champions. I know it's got to bring a lot of warmth to your inners. Talk a little about the great success the team had.
It's just been outstanding. I mean, we 25-0. We're just absorbing it all, having a great time. Kids really love it. A lot of comments in the community that have been great. It's just it's a pretty fun ride. It
is a fun ride, no pun indicated. And listen, big salute coming up Sunday night at the Club 86 in Geneva. I'm looking forward to serving as your master of ceremonies. It should be a lot of fun. I understand you're expecting a crowd of 150, 200 people. For our viewers this morning, if they want to be a part of the celebration, how do they get tickets for the event?
They get a hold of my wife at the school. The number is 866-810-0345, extension 399. It's $15 a head. I'd like to have the reservations in by Thursday, April 3rd.
Okay. And certainly it's important. Of course, we'll be tasting a little Jimmy's chicken, I understand, which is always a great dish.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that. That's going to be a great time.
It will be a lot of fun, and certainly I know that you guys are heading to Albany, and you guys are going to get saluted by Mike Nozzolio and the State Assembly and the State Senate for the outstanding effort of winning Class D2 states. So, again, to our viewers, if you want to be a part of it, the dog will be there along with the entire team. We'll be showing honors and giving them the credit that they richly deserve. So I want to wish you and Susie and everybody on the team, wish them the best from Weber this week. And we'll look forward to seeing all of you Sunday night. And again, for tickets for that event, give us that number one more time.
866-810-0345, extension 399, Sue Nicholson.
All right, Sue Nicholson, who had a chance to meet yesterday, out of all places, Tim Hortons. All right, Damon, thanks an awful lot. Enjoy your ride down Albany, and you guys have a great time. We'll see you Sunday night.
Thank you guys, too.
All right, thanks, Damon. Damon Nicholson, head coach of the Lady Warriors, Romulus, New York, small town America, which is what I love, the fiber of America sports. When a local team, and as Mike knows, and certainly Jimmy knows, and I know, you flash down 414. If you blink, Mike, you lose track of them. You forget where Romulus is. But it's just great to have a team emerge into becoming a state title holder. And I know, Mike, you being a sports nut, you're very proud of them as well.
Oh, absolutely. Small town school.
Oh, just amazing.
Going all the way.
Let me give you a little background on Mike. Him and myself have been friends forever. And back in the 70s and the 80s, I used to do a show called Weber on Sports for WSFW Radio, and I was like Johnny Carson. I took a vacation every month for a week, and I would bring in all kinds of people to do my show while I was absent, the chief of police, the head of the fire department, the tax man, and I used to bring in Mike O'Brien. He did the show, and Mike, the good news is you did a good job on the show, and the other good news is the station tower was still erect when I got back from Florida. Let's talk a little bit about yourself. Give our viewers who don't know you, which is hard to believe, you know everybody, but give us a little background, where you were born, where you went to school, and what you're currently doing. Obviously, you're a barber.
Yeah. Well, born here in Waterloo. Come from a family of 8. Got 5 brothers and 2 sisters, and spent a good share of my life in the grocery business. And then after that, got the inkling that I wanted to be a barber, and so for the last 14 years I've been cutting hair.
And I know you have a a large clientele, and you got some legendary stories. I'm sure there's nothing real quiet about your barbershop.
Well, we try to have a lot of fun while I'm working, that's for sure.
Now, certainly people that know you from the area certainly know that you've had political aspirations. Give us your thoughts on politics and why you tried to get into that arena, and what has enticed you to be a politician?
Well, I think, like myself, most of the people who are involved in politics want to do what the right thing is for their community. Back in the late 90s, I decided to run for council. Got elected in 2000, spent 2 terms on the town board in Waterloo. Was a member of the Republican committee for several years, from vice chairman to chairman, and this past year I ran for supervisor. Unfortunately, I needed 12 more friends to succeed, but maybe sometime in the future we'll give it another whirl.
And of course, you and me talked about it at Opus, and certainly before we came over, that's our meeting spot, the Opus Coffee Shop across the street. The Tire Casino, a big topic, Mike. You and me talked briefly about that. I'm of the opinion it's not going to happen. You think it might. It's on a fast track, but we'll wait and see when all the politicians get through muddling through the mud. There's a lot of people interested in those casinos, especially the competition that I feel that's going to be most worrisome about us here in Tire is the Southern Tier, Tioga, et cetera, Binghamton area. It'll be interesting, but you mentioned about you're for it in a sense, right? But you're worried about all the revenue that's going to be made, where that money's going to go if we ever get it.
Well, exactly. If the county board is thinking in the right direction, if we do end up with a casino, what are we going to do with the money? If we're going to hire more positions that aren't needed at the county level, then probably it should go somewhere else. But if we're going to take that revenue to try to entice other businesses to come into the area, such as tax-free zones or spin-off businesses from the casino, it's probably a good thing for the area.
Time's going to tell.
Somebody's going to get it.
Oh, yeah, I agree. Somebody's going to get it, and it's going to be interesting. Of course, Mark Guerin, the president of Hobart College, is heading up the gaming commission. They're going to have meetings, and I guess sooner than later, the Wilmerite folks are going to have to write a check for not $1,000, not $100, but $1 million. And by the way, that's non-refundable. So if you don't get the casino, adios $1 million. But we're talking about a complex, a resort casino in the Tire area, and I'm still trying to figure out in my demented mind how that's all going to work from a roadway access. I do work part-time, as many of you know, at the Thruway, and by the way, I'll be working today 3 to 7 in Geneva, so stop by and say hello, and make sure you don't bring me pennies. But all kidding, I'm thinking about in the summertime, I've been out there 18 months, and I was telling Jimmy about this. It's amazing to me, the statistics with Easy Pass. Only 42% of the state have Easy Pass. That's amazing to me. 58% don't. So 58% people line up and pay as you escort off the Thruway.
Well, if they weren't paying, Harold, you wouldn't have a job.
That's right.
So
you're exactly right. Yeah. That's true. But my point is, Mike, I look out into Thruway in July and August, and I see cars lined up right to the main line, double stacked, both in Waterloo and Geneva. By the way, those petro trucks, one every 12 seconds.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, they're expecting 9,000 additional visitors to go to the Tire Casino. A, we better double the size of our exchange in Waterloo, or B, they better have another come-off side of it.
Well, I'm sure the Thruway Authority, I'm sure, would figure all that out.
Yep.
Push all them cars through and get them there to lose as much as they can in a quick, short amount of time.
But it's funny, and talking to Mike O'Brien, a longtime friend of mine, he goes by the nickname of Obi, regarding the casino, and again, it may happen, it may not. I do have some question about all this discussion, Mike and Jimmy, regarding what an economic boon it's going to be to the county. I'm thinking to myself, if Jim's been in a casino and you've been in a casino and I've been in with Mary, we go to Turning Stone once in a while. Casinos, especially the size they're projecting to be in Tire, New York, folks, is like, if you've never been to a casino, it's like a city, actual city of its own. There's a barbershop. There's restaurants. There's hotel rooms. There's spas. There's everything you'd want. So I'm guessing, yes, you might be able to buy some local supplies from vendors, I guess, in the area. But once you're in the casino, ka-ching, ka-ching, those casino people are making the money. I don't know. I mean, with all due respect to my friend Gary who runs the McGee Diner, I'm sure he's not going to hurt either, but I don't know
as long as they're paying taxes, though.
Right,
right now, the Indian casinos don't pay
That's
taxes.
true.
And so if we get this tire casino, all of a sudden, that
right.
ruins the opportunity for the Cuba Indians to build a casino that
Exactly.
would be off the tax rolls. And then the other thing is, if it becomes a resort destination, people are looking for places to golf or shop or to go into town to eat. So I think there'd be some advantage there. But I think that we're in a good position to get it because the Wilmerites are a pretty strong group that's putting this together. And we have more the population and the economics of between Syracuse and Rochester per person or per capita, however they figure it out. We're going to have that advantage over the southern tier proposals. But
it's going to be interesting as the flow goes. We're like the Young and Restless soap opera. Let's wait until next week, see what happens with the casino. Mike O'Brien's our special guest this morning. And, guys, let's talk about – I know Jimmy doesn't want to talk about it, but let's talk about how's your NCAA bracket doing this morning, huh? Did you have Connecticut make the Final Four? Not. Did you have Wisconsin? You probably might have had. But how about Kentucky? Up and down team, defending champs. They won it a year ago. They're back again. They're at the doorstep of winning 2 in a row, which is hard to do and hasn't happened that many times in NCAA college basketball history. My pick, Florida Gators, are alive and well. Just to give you a synopsis, Florida, Connecticut go at it game 1. I think it's around 3:30 or 4 o'clock, or maybe it's 6 o'clock, the first game. Whatever, they're both on Saturday. Florida, Connecticut, game 1. Wisconsin, Kentucky, game 2. And, Jimmy, I know you're sort of downtrodden with SU getting eliminated, and I know you hate to hear about Connecticut being in the Final Four. What's your thoughts so far in the Final Four?
Well, it's interesting because a lot of conference realignment. The ACC gets shut out.
Exactly.
What a terrible conference that we're in now.
Yep.
The Big Ten had a chance yesterday to send 3 teams to the Final Four, which had been the first time since '84. That didn't work out.
Right.
They only get the one, Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
And then you have Michigan State, everybody's favorite, bowing out. But the SEC has 2. They're traditionally you think of the past few years, SEC being one of the worst college bad, but they have 2 teams in the Final Four. So as far as who I'm rooting for, you can't dislike Florida and Billy Donovan.
Yeah.
Their senior laden team who hasn't lost since early December. And you got to, I guess, pull for Wisconsin a little bit. Yeah. Definitely don't want to see Kentucky win it. And not really looking too forward to the thought of maybe Connecticut winning it. But, But I like Florida, I think. What do you think, Mike? Who you got?
I mean, Donovan's got a strong team down there. This is going to be the 3rd time in 9 years that Florida's been down there. Everything's bigger in Texas, and we'll see what happens when they get there. But my pick, I think Connecticut, they're one of the teams that was left over in the Big East.
Wow.
And I think Connecticut and Kentucky, I mean, you got the Harrison boys, even though combined the Twins only shot, 7 for 20, I think. But they made the one that counted at the end, and that put them there. So we'll see what happens. But I think Kentucky is going to be there. Calipari, he makes the team play defense, and they come up good. It's going to be interesting.
That's why they pay Calipari $7 million a year.
Yeah, well, I don't know if Donovan got that much in Florida. I don't think he got that much.
It's going to be interesting. So the Final Four, folks. Once again, Florida, Connecticut, game 1 Saturday. Again, I'm not sure the starting time of the first game, but I believe the second game will be I know the second game is going to be Wisconsin against Kentucky. The winners obviously advance to Monday night. The finals, which starts about 9:30, which to me is ridiculous because I have a hard time staying up for the whole game at my age, but I don't know why they start them at so late, but that's another factor. And speaking of college basketball, speaking of the NCAA, I know Jimmy went to Syracuse, but I don't understand why teams – I know Arizona lost a heartbreaker. Okay, I understand that. And it's tough when you lose. I know Jimmy was ready to fall off a bridge when they lost to the likes of Dayton. But do kids have to go to the streets and start throwing beer bottles? Do they have to rock cars? Do they have to start small fires? Is that part of the culture now?
Hey, it's an educated society.
I know,
today.
but is it something that we now expect when a college team who Arizona was a #1 seed, But when they lose to some of the kids, not all of them, I'm not indicting the entire university, but my God, why do kids feel it necessary to go out and cause trouble when you lose a heartbreaking basketball game? I know it must hurt. Don't get me wrong. You know, I'm sure Jimmy was hurt when they lost to Dayton. I understand.
I went downtown and started flipping some cars with my friends right down here in Seneca Falls. Yeah, burned a few cars.
My God, to take on the cops when they got the riot gear on, to me, is just ludicrous. Yeah. And to watch that video this morning on Good Morning America of that one cop, I don't know, OB, and I don't know, Jimmy, if they're ever going to identify who that cop was, because he had his riot helmet on. Mm-hmm. I don't know, but he knocked over that girl that was standing by an area there, minding her own business from what I could see on the camera, and this cop just comes and just bulldozes her over it and just slams her to the ground. I'm not so sure that was necessary as well. By the way, the internal people of the Tucson Police Department are investigating. No kidding.
Shapiro and Shapiro just got a phone call.
Yeah, good. I would hope so, because I guess I just don't know. I must be getting too old to understand why college kids feel it necessary to cause problems when your university has lost a sporting event. It's just a game. I know it's a big deal. Trust me. Just ask Las Vegas. Billions of dollars are bet every game. But my God, I found that footage really distressing. How about you? This is Weber This Week. We got our good friend Mike O'Brien in the house. We're going to talk about a bunch of other topics. We're going to delve into some stuff that Mike wants to talk about. But first, let's run it by and hear from our great sponsors that make this show possible. We'll be right back. Eagle Lake National Bank. Bill Ryan and his team for all of your banking needs. Offices in Union Springs and Aurora. A fine sponsor of this show for over 30 years. DA Liquor, Seneca Falls. Amy Padula and her great team will find that right spirit for you every time. Tell Amy the dog sent you. Steve Wadhams, Wadhams Enterprises, your employer of choice. Proud supporter of this show and local athletics. Steve Muller Motors, smullermotors.com. Quality, affordable vehicles, both foreign and domestic. Bob and Leslie Oman, owners of the Oman Theater, in Lions as well as the New York Pilots, a minor league baseball team with a major league ballpark. Lizard's Tailgater Lounge, Waterloo. Best Mott Sticks around, where you can enjoy a drink and some laughs. SenecaFallsCountryClub.com. Awesome 18-hole layout, offering a 12-month payment plan. Home of the toughest par 4 in central New York. That'd be number 16. Wilson Press, wpress.com. Seneca Falls, Rich Ricky, my good friend, and his team can handle all of your printing and mailing needs. Rich Ricky, Wilson Press, a fine sponsor of Weber This Week. Welcome back, everybody. I know it's hard to believe that our golf clubs are ready to remove from the apartments and homes in the area to go to the various clubs, because all clubs open up officially April 1, even though I don't think you're going to have to worry about a tea time tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock.
It's supposed to be 60 tomorrow.
What's that? Yeah.
60 degrees tomorrow. There was, down at Seneca Falls Country Club on Sunday, there was 4 carts out.
Really?
People golfing.
Amazing. And by the way, speaking of the club, Jimmy's the president of the club this year, doing a good job with the board, trying to get ready and rolling, and they got a sweet deal. I'll be looking forward to playing against John King and Brad Jones. That's a lot of fun, Obi, playing against John King. Oh, yeah. But I own him anyway, so it's not a big deal. And Brad Jones, I hope he goes to the bank and gets some $10 bills. I hate breaking 20s when I beat him every week. But in all seriousness, the club has a sweet deal. Jimmy, talk about it. Single membership.
$1,200 with the cart, and that includes the cart.
A cart's
you
worth
golf
$1,000
all summer long, and if you can also get on a payment plan if you have a credit card, so that spreads it out over the year. And then I believe the family version of that is $1,800 with a cart. So you got your wife and a couple kids, 3 kids. You get them on the family membership. So it's a great deal, and the weather will change. And it's actually, like I said, it's tomorrow, April 1st, opening day. It's going to be 60 degrees, and we're going to be ready to go.
So anyways, folks, if you really want to join a club, I know Wayne Hill's looking for members, Geneva Country Club, all the courses around here. But we're kind of biased to Seneca Falls. It's a nice golf course. It's got we're going to have some good food this year. We got a lot of things planned. There are a lot of events. And if you join the club, there's a lot of events for the members only. Jim has a lot of tournaments that the members can play in. again, it's a sweet deal, and I like sweet deals. When you consider you're only paying $1,200 plus the tax, so that's another $96, 8%. So your total is $1,296. That's not a lot of money to be a member all season long. But here's the deal. You get a cart. You can take a cart, OB, for 3 holes. You can go out and play 30 holes. You can play 60 holes. Just keep going around the course.
There you go.
And the cart doesn't cost you anything because it's thrown in. So I love that aspect of it. So, and you had to be a non-member in 2013 to be eligible.
It's a new member special.
A new member special. Again, folks, I'm really pushing this because I really think you're missing out if you don't take advantage of this sweet deal. If you were not a member in 2013, you can get a hold of the country club. Call Jimmy Senacropi. He'll direct you to the right person to get you lined up. So it's a nice deal. We hope that we see you down at the country club. And Mike O'Brien's been our guest this morning. And Obi, a lot of things in the national news that I know that you follow as well as I do. It's sad about that Malaysian airline deal. I watch it every morning, and it's like trying to find a needle in a haystack.
Oh,
We're talking the Indian Ocean here. Now I understand they're in the wrong area now. So
CNN's doing their best.
Oh, they are. Every minute of every day.
They're doing their best.
24 hours a day. And I just get so sad about that. You just wonder, in today's technology, Jim, you're a technical guy. You know, I don't know how you can lose a plane, but I guess you can.
My understanding is the ping's only going to be going for about 6 more days.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then the ping.
Then there's no way to find it, I guess.
It's just pretty amazing how you can lose a 777?
That was a big one.
That's a huge jet.
It's a big world out there, though. There's a lot of ocean out there.
You know, when watching this coverage, I guess I never really realized how much ocean there is down there south of Australia. That is just a vast wasteland of water.
Oh, yeah.
And so, and then it's like if it crashes someplace, it doesn't stay there. It's in the water.
Yeah.
It can go for hundreds of miles, the
definitely.
wreckage. So it's tough and really sad for the families who might never find their loved ones.
That's a shame. I just am shocked that 21st century you would think we would find a way to know where that plane is. And I know the news may not be good and probably isn't any good, but it's a shame to never know where it's at.
Yeah,
you know.
the family members agreed for them, you know. It's,
well, Mike, you've certainly been a barber. How many years have you been a barber?
I went to school in 98, graduated in 99.
Okay.
Opened the business really in 2000, so I've been doing it about 14 years. It's been good.
Now, to our viewers that may need a new barber, give us your hours again. You're off Sundays and Mondays.
Off Sundays and Mondays. I basically Tuesdays 9 to 5. Wednesdays is a long day for me. I do 7 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Wow.
And then Thursdays 9 to 5, and Friday we do another early day at 7 a.m. to 5, and then for the real early birds, the retired people like yourself, Harold, who want to get out there and get the Democrat, we open about 5:30, 5:45 on Saturday morning.
Nice.
So always people there waiting?
Yeah, you know, it's different times of the year. It's crazy. It's a game of streaks. You know, one minute you're twiddling your thumbs, the next minute you're trying to find places for people to sit down. So that's just part of the business, I guess. But.
Well, I'm sure that they're not at a loss for words when they come in your shop, and I know you give them the words of wisdom as well.
Well, I try to do my best to educate the public. I try to do it in a positive way, but it doesn't always end up that way.
Now, talk about your family. You're obviously married. Talk about your family a little bit.
Been married 26 years now.
She needs a medal.
Yes, she does.
She's going right to heaven with my wife, Mary.
There's a halo above her head. If you look closely,
there
is a halo there.
Well, we're celebrating 48 years in a couple months. 48.
Good for you. That's good.
And you got kids, obviously?
Got 2 boys. I got one in high school. He's a senior, and his name's Dylan. And then I got another son, Patrick, and he's already graduated. He's out, kind of out on his own with his honey and going out to conquer the world.
And I bet the teachers at Waterloo are happy to know that young Dylan is a son of Mike, so they probably they probably remember you in the days of school.
Oh,
I bet you weren't a troublemaker.
I think there's been O'Briens in Waterloo High School for about 55 years. I got my oldest brother Tom, and from all the way, I think he went to school with Tommy Coughlin, and from then on, it's just been. I think we're going to have a little break though. I got a niece, Aubrey, and she's quite an athlete, and after that, there's a dry spell.
Hey, you know, yeah, there is a dry spell. You're right. Mike O'Brien's been our guest this morning here on Weber This Week. And by the way, as we pitch some of our guests coming down the road, and then we'll wrap up with Mike, we're booked for the next 3 weeks after Mike leaves the studio this morning. Next week, it couldn't have been a better fitting for a scheduled date. Eric Red Lorenzetti, the Red Man. I haven't seen him in years. I used to watch him or see him play golf at the club years ago. The Red Man, Red Lorenzetti, who is in charge of the director of golf operations at Turning Stone Resort and Casino. And that is a big job, and that is an awesome job. 3 courses and a golf dome. Some of the phenomenal golf courses in the Northeast are there, and he's overseeing all of that. He'll be here on the couch next Monday. Eric Red Lorenzetti will be our special guest next week. And what is the topic going to be about him and about what he's doing? But also, it's Masters Week, the first major of 2014. Will Tiger Woods' back be okay? Mickelson withdraws from Texas this weekend with an oblique muscle issue. Is he going to be okay? So, and Bubba Watson played a couple weeks ago, shot 90, and after his 90 round, he said he had allergies and had to withdraw. I love these pros. You talk about a bunch of prima donnas, Jimmy. Yeah. I know you play golf, and these guys play obviously at a high level, but my God, they have more excuses. And if you saw the Texas tournament this past weekend, Mike and Jimmy, I was cracking up. They got this kid out of Louisiana named Andrew Lupe, L-O-U-P-E.
Quite a name.
Quite a name. Slowest player I have ever seen. He makes Glenn Day, they call him All Day. He makes him look fast. Yesterday, they warned him 3 times, okay? And on the par 5 14th hole in San Antonio yesterday, John King and Brad Jones were busting me last year about I'm taking too much time before I hit my shot. Yesterday, they had a clock on Andrew Lupe after his drive in the left-hand rough. Are you ready? The clock was running when Lupe was taking his practice swings and throwing up grass. 1:14.
Ooh.
74 seconds. 74 seconds.
From when he took the club out of his bag to when he hit it?
74 seconds to hit that shot. And he wasn't on the clock. He was on the clock early in the round. He was warned by the PGA to pick it up. But he wasn't on the clock, Obi, when he... I could not believe it. 1:14. So I sent my good friends John King and Brad Jones. Don't ever say the dog is slow. You guys bring out a John Cameron Swayze piece this year, and if I take more than 74, I'll give each of you a $100 bill. Give me a break. That was amazing. I think this guy's going to be under the scrutiny of the PGA Tour after that performance, just because it's all over PGAtour.com this morning.
Hey, maybe
they have the clock going like 60 minutes, Jimmy. Tick, tick, tick. It's almost hilarious.
He needs a cart.
Oh, my God, he needs something, yeah. So this week they play in Houston. That, of course, the tournament before the Masters, and it'll be interesting to see. Hey, let's not forget about the game of football. A lot of things happening. You know, my Bills, who I hate, I've never liked the Bills organization. I felt bad about Ralph Wilson passing away recently. I've never been a Bills fan. I've always thought they were losers, and I know they played in 4 straight Super Bowls. But you know what, folks? 14 straight seasons without a playoff. 9 straight seasons with a losing record in our beautiful Western New York. We call them the Buffalo Bills of Orchard Park. Let me explain something to you. I like 15-10 because guess what? While all these teams are making improvements, the Jets, they pick up Decker from Denver. They pick up some other guys during the course of the season as well. I like what the Jets are doing to improve their franchise. What have the Bills done? Let's take a look. They had a chance to get Decker out of Denver. They didn't want to spend the money. Okay. Revis, one of the best defensive players, okay, he was available. He got cut by Tampa Bay. Oh, no, the Bills would cost too much money. Don't want to bring him in, even though he's one of the best defensive backs in the NFL.
It all starts with a quarterback.
And also, right, they gotta have the Bills lose their best defensive guy, Bird, who bolted. So what have the Bills done during the offseason? Let me give you an update. They bring a few linemen in. Folks, they need a lot more than that. They have done a zilch to improve that franchise as we get ready for another football season coming up in September. So as I look at the football as a whole, I'm thinking, oh my God, could it be 15-10? I gotta think right now that the Bills are in for another wonderful losing record. And oh, by the way, I see Obi that they've agreed on Ralph Wilson's will that the Bills have to stay in Western New York until 2019.
Well, that's good for the economy, Bob.
Yeah, good.
You know,
the beer sales.
The only thing, you know, I'm a Steelers fan.
I know
Die-hard Steelers fan.
I know you are.
So I'm just glad they signed Heath Miller. They got Palomalu back.
Yep.
They've done some things to shore up the line. And, you know, barring injuries, I think the Steelers, they're going to make a run for it this year.
You and Gins from the Lizard Fan.
Hey, that's right. Here we go, Pittsburgh.
Hey, that's right. Let's send out a special goodwill to our friend the Tank.
Your buddy Frank Eldridge. Frank the Tank. Yeah, he's healing up.
Yep.
Healing up with a sub in his mouth and painkillers.
Oh, a funny story about Frank. He's Seneca County Sheriff's been out of work for a year and a half. He's getting ready to go back soon. He had knee surgery last week. I went up to see him. He's the only guy that I've ever visited, Jim. And Obi, I walked in the room. He's laying in bed. He's got a private room, in all kinds of pain. And that boy can eat. And he can drink too, but that boy can eat. So his girlfriend shows up in the room, and he says to his girlfriend, "Go to Mom Burgers. I need a sub." Honest to God, the biggest sub that Mom Burgers makes, he got a ham and cheese roast beef sub. Here are the ladies, the nurses are trying to put IVs in his arm and put some medications in him. And here he is.
Woofing it down.
Woofing it down. Only guy I know that would eat a sub as the nurses are trying to tend to him after his surgery.
Definitely.
That's our buddy Frank the Tank. So I don't know if Frank's checking us out this morning, but if you know Frank Eldridge, tell him the dog here on Weber this week and his good friend Obi are wishing him a speedy recovery. And I know he can't wait to get to the bar to have a cold one.
Oh, he'll find a way. He'll find a way.
Yeah, you'll go pick him up. Well, Mike, thanks a lot for spending some time with us.
Thanks for having me.
We'd love to have you come back.
Yeah, appreciate it.
All right, folks. Once again, our show's next week. Eric Red Lorenzetti on the 7th. Chelsea Steinruck, her dream is to be a sportscaster. She's going to be sitting on the couch, and we'll be doing a show together. I'll be doing a few topics. She'll do a few topics. We're going to call that show The Beauty and the Beast. And let me guess who you think the beauty will be. Chelsea Steinruck and the dog will do a show together on the 14th. That's the first day of spring break. And, oh, by the way, Emil Bovee. Lots of controversy involving the Seneca Falls Town Board. Should they spend $2.5 million on a new town hall? Now there's a referendum that might happen to make that go to a vote by all the residents of the town. Lots of topics to talk about with Emil Bovee. He'll be on the couch on the 21st of April. So for Mike O'Brien, this is the dog along with Jimmy Senecropi. Enjoy the Final Four, folks. And remember, the dog did pick good old Florida. Don't forget, salute to Romulus, Club 86, Sunday night, 5 o'clock. Call Romulus Central School. As for Susie Nicholson, we'll see you there.